Hello everyone, welcome to Noble Creative Tutorials, and today I will show you how to create 3D voxel image animation in Adobe After Effects using Stardust. So create your composition. Let's get started. So after create a composition, and as you see here in my comp, I have Stardust applied to these layers. So the first thing I want to do here is creating a grid. So on emitter, I'm going to choose right here grid on type and zero out the Z. Basically, we can't see anything because we need to add more life on particle node. And so now we need to zero out the speed. So you can see here the grid, we need to make size bigger on X and Y right here. So you can see we got grid here. And because we want to use a model, not a circle, so we're going to choose right here model and then add a model here and connect that to the particle. So right here we're going to have primitive and cube. So right here, let's change the size 50 by 50. And basically we need to go to the particle and we have size affecting the model. So let's just put right here 1, and you can see now cubes right there. We need to add more depth on the Z, so 500, we're going to have that. So basically right here we need to have a bigger one, and basically what you need to keep in mind is you need to multiply your image size by 2. What I mean by that, because we're going to use this map. So basically right here I have this image, which is just PNG here. So you can drop PNG or any image right here. So the size of these need to be multiplied on Stardust. So once we project this image, we're going to have a nice aspect ratio right into Stardust. So basically right here on this map, I just have this applied to on top of this solid. So basically right now, let's just multiply these by 2 here. X and Y. And right here we have grid properties, so we don't need anything on the Z. And basically we're going to multiply or divide the size of X by the size of the model X. So right here we're going to divide these by 50, and this one, just copy that and paste it here, by 50 as well. So we're going to have all these cubes right there, and because we can't see it, so we're going to add turbulence right there and use here axis and using the Z, so we want to have turbulence on Z and offset that by 250. So now you can see the cubes right there. Really nice. We can add animation here. So that's pretty cool. So we have a nice grid animation right here. So and now I'm going to add field node right here and connect that to the particle. So basically I want to project now that map I just showed you. So right here I'm going to choose maps, and let's just drag these maps here, or this map comp, and then I'm going to use it right inside field here. I'm going to choose a layer, and then I'm going to assign these a map here. So right now we have affected properties. Let's go for 200. So basically you can't see anything. Let's just disable these turbulence, and on field node we have affected. I'm going to choose here position and project that on X and Z here. So now you can see we got the same shape we have inside the map here. Okay, that's pretty cool. So let's create a new camera here. And let's zoom these out so we can see the whole shape. So now let's enable back turbulence here. We can have some noise turbulence there. So let's just make the noise 1000 so we can still see that basically you can play with maybe just 150 and so on. So we can play with that or make a sphere instead of infinite. That's going to have a different look if you want just to have effects in the center of these logo here. So basically now we need to bring the texture of these image. So we're going to duplicate the field here, and let's connect that with the first one here. So the second one, instead of position, we're going to use color here. So going to affect color, and basically you can say just bring the color from this map, but I'm going to use separate one here. So this one is called texture one. So basically it's the same thing here, except right here I have color the background here, and the image I can add these fill to it just to create some nice color here. So I'm going to bring these right here as well. Let's turn visibility of these. And so right here on fill, I'm going to choose texture there instead of map. So this is using a map and this is using texture. So now basically you can see it's fading out. We need to add material node and then connect that to the model here. So you can see what's happening when we add that. Now it looks pretty cool. So if we go to texture here and maybe change the color here, maybe bluish, something like that, it's going to update here, and that's what we want, and that's why we choose to have that separate right there. So I'm just going to keep that as it is right now. So now basically we can make these look a little bit better than how it looks. So first we can make these model here have some bevel, 10 on segments and bevel size 4. These look pretty cool. We can adjust now these sizes here. So maybe just 71 and 40. Now it looks pretty cool, as you can see. So what I'm going to do now is using the material node to make this look pretty cool. So right here I have a few textures that I'm going to use here. Gold material textures. I'm just going to bring that to the comp here. Let's turn visibility here. And on material, I'm going to use that. So right here on roughness, I can use these glossiness map, and on bump first, let's use height so we can see the effect here. So now you can see what's going on. If we can keep going on the amount there, you can see how it changed that look right there. So I'm just going for 100 there, and on reflection I'm going to use reflection map. Can add some more right there, concave specular amount as well. So you can see much here, but when we add lights here, so let's add point light. So you can see what's going on now with point light, and we can add ambient light as well. Maybe just 50 right there. So we can play with the material, and that's going to give us different looks right there. You can see now how this looks, the noise bevel there. And basically I have here a reflection map as well that we can add. So basically just a reflection map here, as you can see. And so let's add that right here as well. And basically I'm going to use it inside render settings here. So right here inside Stardust render settings, we have environment, and we can choose environment here, change the orientation there. So you can see what's going on here. So let's see difference. That's look pretty cool. And that you can mix it with light shading, or on material here, we have environment. So you can crank up that, and play with the look here, which is pretty cool. So I'm just going to leave that 100. So you can see now how this looks. So basically you can now, let's just create a new adjustment layer. So now we're going to apply a metric color here, and on creative, let's just choose this SL cross HDR, and you can see we got some nice look right now, which is really cool. So you can see how now very quickly we got some really nice cool look in here with these materials and lighting, creating these voxel look into these logo here. So basically now what we can do here is go to fill right here, and we can push more on the position here. So you can see what's going on when we push that. Or you can basically use here amount, go for negative right there, so you can see what's going on there. Pretty cool. So having different looks if you want. That's pretty cool. So I'm just going to leave that 100 and it's just 250. You can play with turbulence, of course. So right here we can choose sphere and make the sphere bigger here. So we're going to affect just center here. We don't want to affect the sides, maybe right there, as you can see. You can see it right there. Maybe we're just going to make it bigger. So you can just do whatever you want here with turbulence to make some really cool, nice things. And basically you can animate the camera, of course. So the camera animation is up to you how you want to animate that. So you can just play with that and animate it that very nice right here. So I'm not going to using here the camera animation, so I'm just going to keep that to you guys. So instead I'm going to show you more tips and tricks in this tutorial. So right now basically you can change this image right here to different things. So for example, you can change it to these image here, and you can see what's going on here. You can add or have different elements here, as you can see. So it's pretty cool, quickly applied right there, as you can see here. Maybe now just you need to make these a little bit smaller, and it's going to be applied there. So you get the idea here what you can do basically. Very cool and very easy to create things. So and now I'm trying to show you what you can do here. So basically right here I have hexagon right here. So what you can do basically to make these hexagon is using text and mask instead of primitive. So right here I have assigned a mask here. So just a mask, creating that mask here and assign it to these text and mask model here and extrude that 4000. So you can see now we got really nice hexagon here. Grid, basically you will need to adjust the emitter here, playing with these grid type. So you need to shift that to align these hexagons here. We have covered before how to create that, because the size of the mask will affect the size of the hexagon elements or hexagon model here. You can change the size here or on basically particle size as well. So playing with these, changing the sizes to match the grid. And so basically in this example here, you can see right here we have really nice thing. You can play with lights and camera, and basically right here you can see we have two different models. On the top we have the surface or the face. Basically let's disable this one here. So right here you can see we have this one here. So we can separate these material texture to each one. So right here you can see for this one we have just extruded that by 5 and this one by 4000. So basically this one is on top of these second elements or the model there. So if we turn this back here, and turn off these, you can see basically it's actually the hexagon model right there. So just to fake applying material to the surface, because on Stardust you can apply material to faces. So we used basically this workaround here to do that. So basically on this face right here, you need to have minus the size or minus the extrude value you have in the second one. So right here on origin Z, we have minus 4,000, and on this one, on extrude depth, we have 4,000. So we can have that on top of the model, and you can use different materials now. So now we have the material applied to these one surface here. You can use cool things, materials here, golden texture right here, applying that right there, as you can see. And basically on this one we have changed color. So if we change color here, you can see it's fake that right there. So I have that to a dark so we can see the details there. You need to zero out color from particle because it's going to take the color from these filled nodes, so we don't need that. And for this one here, you can have basically everything just normal here, except having these texture now is having the background with a different fill color right there. So that's pretty cool. So we can play with that, and you're going to have different looks, as you can see here. The same technique, as you can see, guys, which is pretty cool. And so another one here. So right here we have the mask using different masks here. So we have just duplicating that and resize them to have this nice look. Everything else is the same thing, as you can see. And so you can see here as well, you can apply different things, and of course you can use camera depth of field with this, because in Stardust you can use this, and that's pretty cool. So with the camera animation you can have using lights and using depth of field there. So let's turn off depth of field so you can see what's going on here. You can see now, which is pretty cool. And of course you can apply videos as well. So I'm going to show you that right here. So right here I have these applied right here, basically a video applied here. So instead of using image, you can use animating elements if you want. So basically this video, using that right here. Just have texture as we separate map and texture. So right here, we have the same thing here. Just apply or replace image with a video here. So we have texture, which is a map here, and a texture which using the color applied to the second node here. And basically now you can see there is animation here for the video and turbulence as well. But if you want to make these dense, the more dense you make the cubes or the grid, the more details of your image you're going to have. So to do that, basically, you can just, for example, here I have everything is set up. I'm just going to divide these by 4 or 5, whatever you want. And the same value, I divide the X and Y. I'm going to multiply that right here on grid. So I'm just going to multiply that by 4 and grid Y by 4 as well. And I'm going to have a very dense look here, as you can see. Basically, you can animate that as well and make more push that position if you want in this fill node. And you can have some really cool animation with these as well if you want to use the camera animation. So that's it, guys. Hope this tutorial was very useful for you as always. And if you have any questions, just comment and I will do my best to be responsive. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more tutorials coming soon. And thank you for watching.